can we use technology as a medium to penetrate the solutions for such challenges to millions of MSMEs? Since we talk so much about MSMEs and then we end up talking about micro, small, medium. But in your learning, how do you differentiate nano-entrepreneurs and micro-entrepreneurs in particular? Will be good to learn from you.
Sure. So, I think the primary difference we look at here is based on economics, right? So if you look at it intuitively, which is the segment of entrepreneurs that is barely earning survival level incomes, right? Or somewhere around that, either slightly below or slightly above survival level incomes, is what I would intuitively classify as nano-entrepreneurs. Right? Somebody earning reasonably more than that will probably belong to the micro-entrepreneur segment. Yeah, so I think for us, at least in the current context that we are operating, the primary challenge is to find the right people. Right? Who are the right people who can go deep into the problem, understand the context of the entrepreneurs, understand their businesses, and also this person having enough of a business background or an entrepreneurship background to be able to pinpoint what can I solve for here quickly and create an impact. Right? And what kind of solutions will be long lasting, so that it's not that once Udhyam goes out of the picture, this person falls back to the earlier income levels. And our key measure of impact or outcome has been income uplift, always, right? Like is the income of the entrepreneur going up over a period of time? So the first challenge is finding the right people on the job. I think the second challenge is, given India's diversity of context in every state, sometimes even within the state, language becomes a key barrier. Right? So if we have one specialist who can do this, is not sufficient to serve the country because this person does not know all the languages. So how do you disseminate some of the knowledge, some of the skills to more people so that this can be utilized effectively across? And this becomes more important for Udhyam because of our aspiration to create impact at scale. And when we say scale, our aspiration is nationwide scale. Right? So, and that is a huge challenge by itself, just to serve the diversity of the country. So these are the top two that come to mind right now, which again, I wouldn't say we've solved for these. We are far away from solving for these, but it's a continuous process.
So Krishnan, I think while we are talking of multiple aspects with regards to entrepreneurship, today's, I think the next decade and the last decade was of IT revolution, technology in particular, and so much happening, and we hear about AI and likewise. Do you see a strong role of technology as a heading in the work, in your mission, what you are looking at, and are you as Udhyam Learning Foundation doing something towards that?
Definitely yes. We definitely see a role of technology. Some parts of it, I would say, we have uncovered as to how it can help, and it is already helping in some of our work, especially on the Shiksha side of things, in the education part. But overall, like even if we take the nano-entrepreneurship space, right? Again, given our aspiration to create impact nationwide and at that scale, I think an attempt to use technology to enable that is a no-brainer. Right? Now, as to how this will work out, the details of it, etc., is the problem again we are trying to solve. It's like figuring that out. But given that technology directly gives us access to scale, and today, even in the deepest of rural segments we are working with, which are like probably more than 50-60 kilometers away from the nearest city, we see that smartphone penetration is almost 70%. 70% of the entrepreneurs we work with actually have access to a smartphone. The remaining have access at least to a basic phone, if not a smartphone. And these numbers are only going to improve with time. Right? So given there is so much technology access around the country today, I feel like definitely there is effort and investment that needs to go to figuring out, okay, how can this be channelized in the right manner so that we create the right impact. So I am definitely bullish on it. But if you ask me exactly how, for the nano-entrepreneurship segment, we are in the process of figuring that out. But again, would love to hear your thoughts on tech, and has game been involved with any such tech initiatives?
So I would say last 5 years have been a learning curve for us. I strongly believe, like you said, that technology has a major role to play, especially when we want to work across the depth of the country, multiple segments, systemic shift, etc. As game, we haven't done much work on it, I would say, but we are seeing glimpses of it. And if you look at the examples around, the emergence of ONDC as a network, I would say, where a lot of seller buyers are going on that network, and millions, as I understand, some millions transactions have started happening. So I think it needs to go in that direction for sure. What we are definitely looking at it is that how do we identify some of those challenges, core issues, and can we use technology as a medium to penetrate the solutions for such challenges to millions of MSMEs, because human touch can go, or the on-ground intervention can go in a way. I know of a couple of organizations who have started working on it, but through this platform, since we are interacting, I think would be keen to learn more, I would say, that what are such solutions that exist, and definitely test out in some of our locations, and then use that as a medium to enable growth in terms of penetration, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's a great example you bring out, and it also helps me draw a parallel to some of the nuances of how tech can enable. Like, for example, in one of our projects, we've been onboarding food street vendors onto online platforms like Zomato and Swiggy and ONDC as well, right? And that coupled with some mentoring from our side with the street vendors has helped their income levels go up, right? But now, if we were to think of how can we enable this for now, these street vendors need handholding from our side to even onboard onto the platform, right? Because of the persona and the context they come from. Many of them are less than 10th grade pass, right, and non-English speaking. So how do they learn how to onboard onto Zomato? So given this kind of high-touch engagement from our side, we are now in the pursuit of figuring out, can tech enable us to scale this across India? Like, how can this become more of self-service from their side with minimum involvement of Udhyam, so that the scale-up can be faster? So there is already tech in play because they're onboarding onto a tech platform. That's a part of the market access. But to get them onboarded is a big manual effort, right? So how can tech play there is what Udhyam is now trying to start figuring out. So that's one example.